All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the WildCard Podcast. I'm your host, Luke Dillon. I'm joined again by Ryan Cavani.
What is going on?
It's been a long time since our last episode. School got in the way of that and other personal issues that I don't want to talk about, but we're back and a lot has happened.
Yeah, we've missed
So
we've missed NFL draft, postseason, all that.
the Knicks made the playoffs.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was going to happen.
yeah, that's true. Jets draft, hockey's done for our teams, but exciting playoffs for sure.
Yep. Speaking of the playoffs, I thought the North Division was going to be playing the East, but they're playing the West actually.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
there's more like teams out west in the North Division, so that probably makes more sense.
Yep.
More teams out west that are in the playoffs.
It's gonna be. I think the North is the weakest by far.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. People who say the North is good are
The
biased Canadians.
the North is it's good only because it's like they're all equally competitive. It's like the AFC or NFC East. Like
Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews are great at destroying Canada.
yeah, Austin Matthews is looking like the next great goal scorer too.
I feel like part of it might be like adjusted, like might be like skewed because they're playing in the Canadian division. How McDavid and Matthews are having such great seasons. I think part of it is due because of how bad the Canadian division is. But that's besides the point.
But to be fair though, they're
still good. They're still great.
Yeah. I mean, Ottawa has picked it up lately. Vancouver has had that whole COVID thing.
Yep, I would know because I had Thatcher Demko on my fantasy team, and yeah, I could have used him in a lot of situations.
But I don't know. I feel like the Canucks, Senator, Flames are all just, and that was only 7 division teams. So
speaking of the Calgary Flames, I think they're gonna blow it up. I think they're gonna blow it up. I think they're gonna go into full rebuild.
Johnny Gaudreau should be gone. I love that guy. They're gonna keep Tkachuk because Tkachuk's a bright spot, but like
I don't know. Apparently, he could be someone who might be gone too.
Yeah, they they don't really have they have Hannafin. I like Tkachuk. I like both of Tkachuks. I think Brady's already better than Matthew, but I still think Matthew is he's a good player, physical, and he's a goal scorer. He's yeah. And then I'd love Gaudreau. I really wish he'd come to the Devils.
Too. I like to go to the Rangers, but we have too many wingers as is.
Yeah, we need a good winger. We need him and Jack Hughes would probably make the smallest line in the NHL, but still, I'd love that guy.
You just gotta get Matt Zuccarello then, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of
yeah, you go.
I was gonna say, while the Devils need wingers, the Rangers need a second line or top 6 center.
Well, I feel like the good teams always have, or like Stanley Cup winners always have a
good 1-2 punch.
Two great centers. Like
Crosby, Malkin.
I don't Kopitar. I don't know who their second line center was, but Kopitar's
many years.
Yeah, but I guess he wasn't bad. But Kopitar's such a good two-way guy. I think McDavid and Draisaitl can make that, but they need. I think Edmonton needs a what's it called? They need a Vezina goaltender.
They need Mike Smith to continue playing good this year.
Yeah. They also need a top 10 defenseman, which I don't think they can get.
They might not be able to unless Tyson Barrie is
unless
his resurgence continues.
Yeah. But they've I don't know, I've always thought it'd be hard for them to win playoff rounds because by game 6 and 7 they'd find a way to shut McDavid down. But I think McDavid is just so above and beyond at this point and so much better than everybody that I don't even know if teams will be able to find a way to stop him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even in the last 10 games, he's put up like 29 points.
He scored 100 points in 53 games.
Yeah, like, he's
Grant,
fucking...
Granted, again, like I've said, it probably has something to do with the Canadian teams. He's only playing teams from Canada, but that's besides the point. You still have to be good to score 100 points anyway.
Yeah, it's absurd that he's able to do that. So I think, I don't know. We'll see. I'm rooting for Edmonton in the playoffs out of the North. I really want to see Toronto lose because I think it's funny when Toronto fans lose their shit.
Yeah. Well, if it's any year for them to do it, it's this year.
Yeah, like this year and last year were both just 2 weird years to go. The only
time they could possibly face Boston is in the finals. So
yeah, I don't think Boston is gonna make a run like normal years.
They probably could. I don't. Who knows? If Taylor Hall continues to be like that solid second line scorer with Krejci, like that's probably what the Bruins need.
Going through.
Oh.
Like, we could go through the lineups here, or matchups here, because I think it starts tomorrow. The first game, I think, is tomorrow between Washington and Boston.
I hate the Capitals, again, just so everyone knows. I didn't hate them as much the past recent years, but then certain events happened, and now all of a sudden, I hate the Caps. Screw him. Ovi sucks. I hate him. I hate everyone on their team, except for Lundqvist. But he's technically not even on their team anymore.
Yeah.
Right, well, no, he's on their team, but he's not on their roster.
Yeah, poor guy. He's looking good though.
I can't believe he's on the same team as Tom
Wilson. What a dick.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, but hey, that guy sucks. But if we're looking at the playoffs, it's Pittsburgh Islanders. Pittsburgh won this season series 6-2, so I mean. But I think Islanders with Trotz always surprise me in the playoffs, especially with like the defensive prowess they have.
I feel like everything's telling me to pick the Islanders, but I don't know. Every game they don't seem to have the scoring touch on any other team besides the New York Rangers.
That's true. But they don't win. They don't win games off scoring. They win off defense and having. I know,
but they struggle to score on teams not named the New York Rangers, and that's my only concern about them.
I think they might have the best goaltending tandem in the league, or at least top 5.
I think so.
Varlamov and Sorokin I think he struggled in the beginning, but he really picked it up.
He struggled in the beginning by shutting out the Rangers. Yeah, that's a total struggle. I mean, I know the Rangers are a pushover, but I mean, Ryan.
He ended with a .918 save percentage, 2.17. Like, those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy team too.
Oh, you did?
And Barry Trotz decided to sit him a bunch of times, which and he ended up losing. I'm like, you see, this is what happens when you don't start Semyon Varlamov, Barry.
But yeah, Varlamov also had a great year. And
Sorokin?
Both of them. Like, I think Varlamov had a fucking he had a 2.04 and a 929. Like, that's pretty good. That's really good. Like, that's like almost elite numbers.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he's like a sneaky. He's not gonna win the goalie, the Vezina, but I mean he's gonna get like a good mention for it. I think.
Who is in contention for the Vezina?
I think it's always just gonna be fucking what's the Lightning guy? What's his name?
Vasilevsky.
Yeah, I think it's always just gonna be him.
Okay, the Lightning. That's another bone I have to pick.
Oh yeah, you know what? It actually gets on my nerves so much. I think they have to change LTIR. They have to change the rules on that, or they have to make it that you. I was
hitting on the Lightning before it was cool. Okay, they get their magic shovel and somehow dig up cap space out of nowhere.
But it's actually ridiculous.
The rules technically say there's like no salary cap for the playoffs. It matters who's on the roster. So now they're gonna have Stamkos and Kucherov back on the lineup, and not have to worry about the cap.
Yeah, like if someone I was
And
reading if
conveniently have to go get surgery again.
it was like I was reading and it's their cap hit is going to be 98 million in the
Yeah.
playoffs. They're going to be 23 over the cap space.
Yeah, cap
It's
space does not matter in the playoffs.
like I know it doesn't matter, but it's still like crazy how they found a way to do. I mean, like good on them for finding it, I guess, but they're still completely abusing it, and that
Yeah,
just shouldn't happen.
but it's Tampa. They'll get away with most things.
And I was talking about this on Twitter yesterday, and it's like Tampa fans like, oh, like don't be scared, like we're so good. I was like, I'm not scared. I know you guys are good, but you're completely like cheating the system.
You're
Like,
cheating. I don't. Yeah, you're cheating. I'm not getting mad at the fans. They're not owning. They don't. They're not the GM.
yeah.
Like you don't have to be a total jerk about it.
Yeah, like it's kind of like they're gonna LTIR needs revamp, and I know I follow Devils guy on Twitter, and he's been saying that the Devils should get back the compensation they lost for Kovalchuk for that contract because they got punished for that like 17-year deal. But
Oh yeah,
meanwhile, like the Lightning can go and do this, use like LTIR to cheat the system, and like Kucherov has been skating for 2 months at this point. Like, tell me he wasn't eligible to play a regular season game. And I mean, it's like we all saw this coming because we knew
oh
from the
yeah.
beginning of the season that as soon as he was put on LTI, they're like, "Oh, we'll see him come playoff time."
And then Stamkos gets put on LTI. Oh, Kucherov's automatically healthy for some reason. Ah,
It's crazy how they
funny.
both just heal at the same time, ready for playoffs. It's really funny.
Yeah,
So that pisses me off. I think that needs a major rule change. It's kind of ridiculous, but so
yeah.
that's why I'm rooting for Florida. I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna be. I think that first round is gonna be a Game 7, exciting playoff series.
I was amazed at how that's like the first Florida Battle of Florida in NHL history. But then I realized
Florida's been terrible.
Florida and Tampa have never really been good at the same time.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, they're not like they're somewhat new teams too.
That's also true.
Um, but I think honestly, I think the Panthers pull it off only because Tampa, except for last year, always struggled in the playoffs.
They got swept by the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
Granted, they weren't an average like second wild card team. They were pretty stacked as it is, but they still got swept despite setting like a NHL record for most like wins or points.
But
It meant absolutely nothing.
I think if Florida had Ekblad, I think they would take the series. But the fact that
Mhm.
they don't, I think it's going to be a pretty even series.
Uh,
And
yeah.
obviously, also, I think goaltending, unless they play Spencer Knight, who
Spencer
started
or,
out the season 3-0, like had a good 3 games. I
unless
don't.
either like Spencer Knight or Drieger or Bobrovsky just goes completely insane and stops like channels inner Henrik Lundqvist and stops every shot possible.
Yeah, like the guy in Vancouver last year, Demko. He had an
And go
incredible playoffs.
he was playoff Henrik Lundqvist, just
Yeah,
stopped every shot imaginable.
yeah. I'd
But
honestly. Oh, there you go.
no, you go.
I was gonna say like I honestly I'm huge on Spencer Knight. I love him. I think he'll, which is why I never understood why after they drafted him they signed, or I don't know which order it came in with the
They
Bobrovsky
drafted
signing.
Knight first.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me why they did that because I think Spencer Knight should be a full-time starter come 2 years. I think next year it's okay to like have him split,
Yeah,
but
I mean, the goalies don't typically like develop as fast as
yeah, no,
Spencer
yeah.
Knight did. Typically, they don't develop that fast.
Yeah, I also think for
And also,
Nashville,
I also think they thought Bobrovsky would still, be pretty good.
be elite, yeah. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be my exciting playoff series. I hope Panthers take it in like 7 or something.
Oh yeah,
Um, but I called it at the beginning of the year, and I looked terrible for saying it at the beginning of or like mid-season. But Nashville does make the playoffs. Of course, they're
I
gonna.
was surprised by that.
I honestly had some doubts. Like I remember looking midseason, I was like, wow, I was like an idiot for thinking Nashville's gonna make the playoffs.
But then the Stars just could
then they
not.
just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Stars just kind of gift wrapped that last playoff spot.
Oh yeah, that at Dallas too. I guess they didn't win last year, but they go to the finals and then they miss the playoffs the year after.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing season for them. I've never heard when Jamie Ben's and Sagan's contracts go up.
I guess if you can look up cap friendly right
Yeah,
now,
like a cap friendly right now.
Yep.
But
oh,
they have a good young team. I've been seeing them trading for, or I'm not I haven't like actually heard anything, but I've seen Miro Heiskanen 1-for-1 for Jack Eichel,
what?
which is an interesting package. I don't know if he's.
If you mean dumb.
I would do that if I were GM of the like. Well, the only uncertainty is that Jack Eichel does have a $10 million contract, and he has been
you
injured.
can't exactly fit that under. You can't exactly ignore that in the cap unless you're the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jack Eichel going to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Well, did they give? They have Braden Point. They have no. Oh yeah, you know what? There's somehow Lightning are gonna find a way to get him for playoffs.
Because Jack Eichel needs surgery.
Yeah, he needs surgery to repair his neck.
Yep. So there's cap space right there for the Lightning.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll find a way to.
They'll find a way to keep cheating, legally cheating. Unbelievable.
But Buffalo is gonna be forever rebuilding.
They're very well on their way to catching the Rangers Stanley Cup drought.
Yeah.
Record. If they trade Jack Eichel, they'll definitely catch it. Unless the Leafs lose this year.
I just can't believe that they're spending $9 million on Jeff Skinner for like 6 more seasons after this.
For a complimentary piece.
He's not
at best.
Yeah, like I don't even like they have some good guys. I like Casey Middlestat. I think this year he started to pick it up.
Develop to save his life.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of got screwed over being drafted to the Sabres, but I mean he did put up 22 points in 41 games. I would love Casey Middlestat. Like if the Devils find a way to somehow get him, maybe if they want to like move on and he wants a fresh start, Devils pick him up, play him at wing.
He wants a fresh start like everyone else on Buffalo.
Yeah. But I mean,
no one wants to be there.
I know Ristolainen has always been in trade talks, like since
he said he doesn't care what happens if he stays here or if he gets traded. He's fine with whatever happens.
But he only has one more year after this year. Or no, is this? Oh no, yeah, one more year after this year, and he's gone free agency.
He's open to being traded.
Is the expansion draft this summer? Right, yeah.
It is.
Ooh. I haven't seen much talk about that. I know when Vegas came out, that was all people talked about for like months, was who's going from each team. But I haven't heard anything about that. I'm nervous for the Devils. Hopefully.
I don't know what the Rangers are gonna do. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Speaking of Vegas, kind of unrelated, but the Rangers have been granted permission to speak with Gerard Gallant to interview him for head coach after firing David Quinn, which was celebrated by Ranger fans all over on Twitter.
Well, to be fair, anyone's an upgrade from Quinn. So.
Yep, and that was a full week after a crazy Wednesday.
What a mess.
Where they decided to fire Gorton and JD, which James Dolan fired the most unfireable Ranger executive of all time, and John Davidson. That still has me perplexed to this day right now. and it's like a full week after the aftermath. I've cooled off, but that still has me perplexed that they fired John Davidson.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that you wanted to keep him.
I heard he wanted. I think that might be the most obvious thing. He wanted Dolan wanted to fire Gordon, but Davidson didn't want to fire him. So Dolan. It is one thing you shouldn't do with James Dolan is call his bluff.
Yeah.
That's one thing you shouldn't do. You shouldn't call James Dolan's bluff. And then they've hired Chris. Then they promoted Chris Drury to GM and president, which I'm not upset with that move at all. I think Drury will be perfectly fine.
I've seen people say that the only reason why he fired the GM was because he didn't want to lose Drury.
Oh yeah, I think that's probably the most accurate assumption. Probably the best theory, but we don't know what. We probably won't know the answer to that question of why people were fired. Was it because of Tom Wilson? Was it because the Tom Wilson incident or something like that?
I think it has to have something to do with the Tom Wilson incident because to me,
there's so many reports say that and also conflict that.
Yeah, because the only reason why I say I think it is just because there's 3 games left in the season anyways. Like, what's the difference between firing him with 3 games left and just waiting till the end of the season? That part really makes me think it was Wilson.
Or that was like a James Dolan impulse firing. He just did out of impulse.
Yeah, and that guy's also the biggest idiot in sports, so.
You don't have to tell me that.
But yes,
we can't have both the Knicks and Rangers doing good at the same time.
One team's got to make it, one team's got to miss. Just balance.
Yeah, James Dolan just felt the urge to fuck shit up on the other Wednesday, and the Rangers apparently drew his ire for whatever reason. He never gave a crap about the Rangers ever until the other week. And that kind of has me scared that Dylan is going to be more involved in hockey operations, which terrifies me and probably delights you.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where you guys go with this because I honestly I've been reading this book about hockey analytics and stuff like that, and it talks about team building, and he used you guys as an example of how you guys kind of have 2 different age groups almost. Your best players are of Panarin, and then Mika are all in their primes right now. But then you're also developing young talent like Laf, Kako, and I guess Fox is somewhere in the middle there.
Fox is amazing.
So it's just weird and you also have the 2 goalies, but I don't know how you feel on your goalies, but I definitely feel especially Shesterkin was supposed to come in and destroy the league.
He was
good.
He was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
He you can't expect every goalie to be Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, exactly. I think you guys have been spoiled by Lundqvist
for so many years.
Yeah.
I will never understand why people hate Ranger fans who hate Lundqvist. Ranger fans who hate Lundqvist are not Ranger fans.
Yeah, it's like hating Brodeur. You can't do that. You can't be a fan of your team and hate your franchise's best player all time.
You can be critical, but if you absolutely hate him, then
yeah.
But what are you doing? What are you trying to? Are you trying to be different for this? You want to be different? Okay, I don't. Shesterkin will probably be the starter for years to come. It will be really consistent. I don't know about Alex Georgiev. I think he might be gone.
Is he? I don't know if he's protected from the expansion draft or not, but there also might be better goalies out there. No offense, but
they might keep. I'm wondering if they'll protect Kincaid over Georgiev.
Oh, really?
I'm wondering.
Yeah. Because he doesn't. Oh, I guess Shesterkin doesn't have the experience, right? Or the amount of games.
Well, Shesterkin's ineligible for the expansion draft anyway.
Oh, that's right. So they're gonna keep him.
Entry level deal. So I'm wondering if they'll protect Kincaid and expose Georgiev because Georgiev has a higher salary cap as a salary, and also Georgiev kind of like hurt his value as a goalie this past year. Like they started Kincaid on days where Georgiev was healthy,
Yeah. Also, I'm thinking. I was thinking for the Devils too, because I mean, honestly, I don't really see. I just hope they pick Andreas Janssen. I hate that guy.
I thought
It was
Devil fans were loving.
no, Devils hate him. It was a good that's the they pick up all these guys where it's like
get you excited.
yeah, like it was like oh, like this guy, he was I don't know, like 20 goal scorer on the Leafs. I get he wasn't supposed to. I mean, I had the hope that he was gonna come in and like see like reach unfound potential, that he's like actually playing on a top six role now instead of like middle six. But
Yeah,
he didn't. He went like he had a point where it was like 20 games without a point, and it was just like like this guy sucks.
yeah,
And I like Devils had a good year in my opinion. Like moving like McLeod and Bastion. Well, like McLeod was like basically like bust at this point. Like he hasn't really fit in the NHL. But him, Bastion, and Wood became like a really good chippy line, which every team needs. Like
yeah.
Wood can fight with the best of the guys in the NHL, which I love him. And that contract is like almost a steal at this point because he had a great year. He was like one of our top point scorers.
Mm.
So I like that. I think Sharon Govich and Kuokkanen were like low expectations, so they hit it out of the park for me. And then Jack Hughes had a good year. He didn't like put up a crazy amount of points, but he looked really good out there. Like advanced stats like showed that he looked great. Like he had a lot of zone breakouts, break-ins, and a lot of takeaways, which I was impressed with. Like the two-way game, and then I just wish we had Heischer all season.
Mm.
But stuff happens. Like you can't always have a perfect season with injuries. So
one thing I saw from Heischer, like when I was watching the Rangers and Devils play, he was trying to fight someone he has cage on. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think what the Devils just really need is, and they've always needed this, they need a top six winger, like a goal scorer. And that's what they signed Holtz to and he's been playing in the AHL. I don't think he's going to light the world on fire next year. I mean, I think he'll just probably stick. I don't think he'll be a top six guy next year. Maybe. I mean, we don't really have a top six. That's the thing. But I hope we go out this summer and find a way to get like a bona fide top six guy.
Yeah, I think. Well, for the Devils, I think they do need like a winger. They do need a winger. That could probably really help. So maybe from Calgary it could be like Johnny Gaudreau or Matt Tkachuk. If that also depends if Calgary wants to blow it up, which I think I don't know what else to do with them. They couldn't score in like the weakest division.
Oh, sorry, I cut out for a second there.
I was wondering. I was wondering.
I think Gaudreau needs a fresh start. I don't know if I said. I don't know. I was talking about that. I think he like this is his prime right now, and he's had it down year, in his terms. So he definitely needs to start somewhere new, like Eichel.
I think so. Yeah. But someone who's not going to get traded for people who are not going to be traded for Jack Eichel, Capo, Kako, and Lafreniere had good, strong ends to their seasons. I think.
See, like, if someone said Kako 1-for-1 for Eichel, are you saying no to that?
Probably.
Really?
I don't. That is a tough. I don't know.
I think maybe I'm a biased Devils fan, but you guys have so many wingers, and you need a center, and I think you're a center away from a playoff team, especially Jack Eichel, who I am still so high on. I think he's easily the best guy available this summer.
That's true. It's just the thing about the Rangers; they got to make the cap work.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
But
I don't. That's gonna be a hard sell.
that's almost why you have to trade one of Kako or Laf. Like you can't trade minor pieces in this deal because you need to find a way to
What?
not. Because I
Well,
mean, Kako and Laf are both gonna ask for. I mean, unless they do bridge deals, which I don't think any
I don't
first or
know.
second pick does.
I don't know. Jury's got his work cut out for him too.
Yeah, he does. He's got to figure it. I think you're already like work. I know you guys have. You guys do get like 11 mil from like dead cap this year
Yeah, they do get
with all your buyouts.
That does like significantly go down like this offseason.
But that also goes right into the Shesterkin contract and the
Shesterkin, Buchnevich,
Buchnevich, yeah.
and
So,
then eventually Zibanejad and Adam
Exactly.
Fox extensions.
yeah, the Adam Fox extensions. Nah, I
He's
wonder.
He's,
I wonder what he gets.
The only reason why he won't win Norris is because his name isn't Victor Hedman. That's the only reason why he won't win the Norris. He should totally win the Norris Trophy.
Yeah, we'll see. But I guess we can move on to football at this point. Talk about the draft and schedules. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't heard your opinion. I know as a Giants fan on your first round pick, but I'm curious to what you think.
I thought it was a good pick. I don't know why the people who were getting upset over it didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was either. But then I saw some of the tape. I'm just like, I like what I'm seeing on the tape.
They did do a really good job with his draft highlights. I thought those looked he looked really good in those.
Oh yeah, like he was so elusive and like he made like nothing plays into touchdowns.
But I think the Jets have had a great draft. I mean, I guess on paper no one's gonna like what they did, but they picked up Wilson, obviously, and then they picked up O lineman for him and a good new wide receiver who is a first round talent. Who obviously, if like that,
and they got Michael Carter.
Yeah, well, they got two Michael Carters.
I find it ironic. I find it very funny because one played for UNC and the other played for Duke.
Yeah.
Which I thought was even more hilarious.
At least one's offense, one's defense, so that helps me out. And I think one's a junior, and I think one's just normal Michael Carter. But I thought that was so funny. But the running back looks good. I like the. I'm on the boat of not picking a running back in the first round. Obviously, not Saquon. I'm not talking about like top 5 running back talent. I'm talking about like the Steelers picking up Najee Harris at 23.
It's not that it was a bad pick. It's just they had other needs and needed to.
Yeah, exactly. That's how like the Jets would be like. In my opinion, your running back is made from your O line. More like I'd rather have a good O line than a good running back.
Which the game is won with the offensive line.
Yeah, I think teams like I don't know. I think teams. I don't know if they're just realizing it now, but I think a lot of teams are realizing that having a good O line is just like makes you a good team.
That's football 101. A good O line makes you pretty good. I don't know why the Giants didn't select any offensive linemen in the draft. They did sign some undrafted free agents after the draft for the O line, but I don't know.
No, go.
It's just I don't think the offensive line's that good. But like it also you're counting on like every single player on the offensive line to have like to step up or have a bounce back season, which is probably unrealistic. Nate Solder's going to be coming in after a year off.
Yeah.
Maybe he needed a year off, but maybe he didn't need the year off, and maybe he's now lost a step. He's going to be playing right tackle. Andrew Thomas, who had a strong finish, I don't know, can he keep that up?
Yeah, I have heard that you guys like shouldn't have drafted an O-line only because your guys were like second and third year guys who just need time to develop.
Sure.
But I don't know.
Maybe this is the year that the O-line steps up.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be the year.
Yeah.
It has to be. Otherwise, Jones and Barkley are gonna get killed out there. And this is a make or break.
Jones especially. Jones has more fumbles than than games played, right?
I don't know. I don't even think some of the fumbles aren't like even his
Yeah,
fault.
well,
It's just
the fumbles aren't on him. It's on your left tackle most of the time. Guys coming out from the blind side.
yeah, and then like some of the interceptions are kind of suspect because you got like Evan Ingram like falling
Yeah.
down on his freaking route,
Yeah.
and then Evan Ingram tipping the ball. He's the Eli interceptions, like having his receivers tip the ball into the defender's hands.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting season for both teams. Now the Jets have an O line. That left side of the O line is hopefully going to be the best left side of the O line in the NFL. I think it could be,
hey, they
especially in a
need to
couple of
be.
years.
They needed to be.
I think I'm still so high on Mekhi Becton, and I think
He had a
now,
good preseason.
yeah, he had a really good, especially towards the end. He had some
Yeah,
injury, but I mean, when you're 6'7", or I don't even know how tall he is. When you're
he's
that
he's
big,
huge.
yeah, he's ginormous. And I know the USC guy, the left guard we tackled, was like played left tackle this year. So
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how he does. I think he naturally is a left guard. Like he played left guard season prior, or like all
I
seasons, and he played good.
I
So
kind of like what the Giants did as soon as like the Eagles decided to like screw him
yeah,
over and trade up and get Devontae Adams.
Devontae Smith. Yeah.
Devontae Smith, not Devontae Adams. That's on the Aaron Rodgers Packers.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. But I'm
Yeah.
finished about the Giants. They were able to trade down and get a first round pick for next year from the Bears, which I thought was huge. I thought that was great, great value to get out of their first
No,
round.
that trade back was really good. I don't know.
Who
I
knows,
don't know what the Bears were scared of though. Of maybe the
I was surprised.
Patriots.
Maybe I was surprised that the Broncos took Sertan.
Yeah. I don't. Who are they? Who did they trade? Did they trade for a guy this year? Or are they still rolling with Locke?
I think they're still rolling with Locke.
Okay.
Oh no, they got Bridgewater. They got Bridgewater.
Oh,
They got
that's right. Yeah.
Bridgewater.
Yes, that'll be interesting to see. We'll see. I don't. I've never. They've never really. They have that deadly D line, so they're gonna win
Oh
games
yeah.
off defense, really. So.
Didn't they release Von Miller though?
Oh, did they? Well, they still have that other guy.
I thought Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, Chubb.
I thought Von Miller got in trouble with something. Like, was it sexual assault? I don't know what it was.
No, I think he's still on Denver. I
Is he
think.
okay? For some reason, I thought he got released, which was we. I don't know about the Broncos, but except they wanted to draft tall quarterbacks. John Elway, not less skilled John Elway clones.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
yeah, I think the Giants' offense is going to be great. It's just a matter of like if the offensive line
Mm.
is going to be solid because they got Kenny Galladay, who is a great addition. You can throw that 50-50 ball up to and feel confident that he's going to come down with it. They got Kyle Rudolph, who is great and hopefully like puts like pressure on Evan Ingram to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently they're holding a tryout with Kelvin Benjamin,
Oh, okay.
which
Oh
he's been out
man.
of football. He's been out of football for a couple of years.
Yeah, I remember that guy. That guy used to be on Buffalo, right?
He was on Buffalo. He was on Carolina too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
I think the Giants will be good. It's just a matter of like if the offensive line can be up to the task, and if Daniel Jones can step up also.
I think the Jets defense is gonna be great this season. I think
I think the Giants defense is going to be great this season too.
I think the Jets needed a good. I really like this head coach, Sala.
So
Yeah, I don't know how to say. I really like him, and I think he's gonna be good for the defense. I mean, they were still good. They weren't good, but they were better than they should have been with their coaches. So
Adam Gase.
Adam Gase and Greg Williams. So I think
The thing about the guy who got motivated his players for incentives to hurt players, you would think he could get motivation out of the players on the Jets.
yeah. Yeah,
He got New Orleans defenses players on New Orleans to get motivated by putting bounties on Brett Favre.
yeah. What? That guy's an idiot. I'm glad we got rid of him.
I don't know
So-
why I don't know how he's still in football.
I don't know how we even gave him a job. Like that's kind of ridiculous.
How is he still in football with like this resume with Greg Williams with Bountygate tied to his name? That's crazy. Do you want to talk about baseball real quickly?
Yep. Oh yeah, forgot about baseball.
The Mets are on a 7 game winning streak. I think is it 8? I think it's 7. Let me check.
Did they play last night?
No, they didn't. They had I think
It's
off
7
day.
then. Oh, they play the Rays. Oh boy. Oh, that's right. I'm rooting for you guys this weekend. We got all the runs out yesterday thanks to Tyone. But we still won the series. Are you guys home?
Do
Do you know? I hope you're not playing at the Trop.
I think we are playing the Trop.
Such a terrible stadium. Did you see there was a fly ball on I think Monday, and it hit the catwalk, and it counted as a hit because
Tropicana Field.
it's awful. I feel like it's terrible, and every time it looks like depressing in there. Like
it looks like a depressing site to be.
like it's actually like crazy. Like they have to move.
Or get a new stadium in Tampa, which I don't know what they want to do. There's such a complicated relationship between the Tampa Bay St. Petersburg and the Tropicana Field.
Yeah,
it's complicated. Like and full of remorse. Oh no, wait, no, remorse? Resentment. That's what the word. There's a lot of resentment in that relationship.
Were they the ones who were? Was it them who was considering playing half their games in Montreal? Was that them?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Rays can. They might as well have just moved to Montreal that rate.
Yeah, they should just go back.
Well, no, they were originated in Tampa.
Oh no, I meant they should go. Like they should bring back that idea.
Expose.
It's outrageous at this point. They got to move.
Yeah. What was up with the Yankees for like the first 20 games of the season?
Every team is going to have a 20-game skid throughout the season where they're not going to play their best baseball. But then you snap out of it like that. And especially if you look at the Mets right now, like the Mets were not that good, and then they just go on a run like this, and everybody forgets how good they are.
They barely played their games. They barely played in any of their games.
Yeah. So I think
they got like their first series got canceled with COVID.
And
a bunch of rain delays and snow delays.
Yeah.
Followed. Like they've played the least amount of games in the MLB.
Yeah, so I think like now I'm really happy with how Stanton has been playing. I think he went from like under 200 batting average to almost like 3. He's at like 298 something. So
he starts off pretty slow anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's a playoff performer. So I like Yankees fans booed him on day one. Idiots. But I guess when you have so many fans, you're gonna have that many idiots.
Restless fans.
Yeah, so I think, and like same thing with Judge. Like Judge had a point where he had like 2 games where he was 0 for 8, and people were like, trade him, and then the next game he goes 3 for 4. So it's just how baseball works.
The one of the 30 games he plays every year.
Yeah, no, he's been good this year, and I'm surprised because I know if they rested him one of these games at the Trop, which they usually like to do because they hate him playing on the turf, Yankees fans would have lost their minds. Is he injured? I hate that. So, but he's
Yeah.
hopefully he can stay healthy. It all can happen like that. So
Michael Conforto, after a slow start to the season, has now been producing at the plate.
there you go.
You were hating on Michael Conforto. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Ryan?
Was he the one who was the All-Star a couple years ago?
He was the All-Star. He was an All-Star. He was the All-Star for the Mets in 2017.
Yeah. So I mean, I I I have a couple of Mets that I like. I really like DeGrom.
Oh yeah,
I think DeGrom's the best pitcher in baseball, and I also think he's on a whole nother level. Which at this point, I also think Cole is starting to creep up to that level, but he's still, that's still like crazy that he's that good. But I like DeGrom. I really like DeGrom. I know Mets fans are not happy with Lindor right now.
he's been producing recently too.
Really? Like
Yeah,
recently, I guess. But like I know he was not having the greatest start to his season.
he was like 0 for like 29 or something like that. But he draw a lot of walks though in that span.
Yeah.
Too. It's not like he wasn't doing much of nothing. He was doing some stuff, but like yeah, he was like not. He was having a rough stretch, but he's been getting it back. He's been getting it together recently though, along with the 7-game win streak for the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
The first place in the NL East, New York Mets, New York Metropolitans.
So yeah, I mean, I'll see. We'll see on Lindor. I don't think he's gonna be worth Tatis money, but I think we'll see what he does.
He will be worth it.
You think? You think he's gonna be worth that contract?
He has to be,
Yeah, it's true.
and I think he will. I
All right.
honestly believe that.
You're handing out Yankees money now, so you gotta be ready for the criticism you get.
Yep. Well, this is what the Mets fans have always wanted, and now the moment they have it, and like, oh no, we don't want it anymore.
Yeah. That's. I mean, you're gonna hand out contracts to duds. Like you're gonna have an Ellsbury contract.
We had a bunch of duds. We had freaking Jason Bay.
Oh, that's right.
We had freaking Jason Vargas and freaking Rick
Oh,
Porcello.
you know what I've been seeing? I've been seeing a lot of McCann hate recently.
Don't know what for.
I hear he grounds into a lot of double plays.
He does. He does. He does do that, but we got him mostly for his defense, and he's been pretty good defensively.
Yeah, that's true. He's a good. Do you have a catcher coming up? I forget.
We do. We have Francisco Alvarez. He's been doing really well.
Okay. And I don't know. I don't know how you guys, if you know our prospects, but we have that Jason Dominguez guy.
Oh yeah,
and
show.
And he is making his AA or his like single A debut at some point this year. Or he's gonna start there. They start really late in their season, so I think they start in like June.
I think the Hudson Valley Renegades and Brooklyn Cyclones open up their season against each other, but they're the minor league teams of the Mets and Yankees.
Yeah, but he took like live BP against Severino, and the last Severino is hitting because he's coming off Tommy John's, or I think so, and
he's one of like the 3 big pitchers from Tom surgery last year.
Yeah, but he had like a live BP. And he was hitting like 96 apparently with his, which is good. Hopefully, I hope he comes back strong. Because if he comes back strong, that's like trading for a good pitcher. Like it's like it's like picking up a pitcher at the deadline. So hopefully,
I'm happy with how the Mets are winning. They're like, if they're hitting their stride, and like Syndergaard and Syndergaard, Lugo, and Carrasco are set to come back somewhat pretty soon. Carrasco is still like might be a bit longer way, but Syndergaard and Lugo are set to come back relatively soon. And the Mets are starting to hit their stride. The Mets might make some noise this year.
I've seen who was it Walker who had the good couple outings?
Oh yeah, Walker's been really great.
I've seen that guy's been.
He has better stats than $40 million. Trevor.
Yeah,
Bauer.
I saw that. I also saw that.
Thank God we didn't sign him.
I hate Trevor Bauer, so I was always
I was pretending to like Trevor Bauer this whole offseason.
Really?
I was like, oh, I like Trevor Bauer. Like Trevor Bauer.
That guy hates Cole apparently, so I hate him. But I think I was never like I'd never wanted them to spend money on Bauer. I thought it was a fluke season. Which I mean
Yeah.
I don't really know how he's playing this
He's
year.
also using a foreign substance. So is
Yeah.
Garrett Cole. They're using
Yeah, I
foreign
know. Have you
substances.
seen that? You've seen that video?
Yeah, from baseball doesn't exist.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know. I feel like every pitcher does it though. Let's be honest.
Unless your name is Jacob DeGrom and you're just great at everything you do.
See, what if DeGrom does?
I don't know. Did he? I don't think he was mentioned on that list.
I didn't really see it. I only care about Cole.
I was listening. Jacob DeGrom's name was not listed unless it was a different report. I don't know.
But did you? Oh, I guess nothing. Never ever came out of that Trevor Bauer baseball check.
Isn't he her agent though?
What?
She's her agent though.
No, like Trevor Bauer's like baseball, like the ball he used on one of his pitching outings got like checked by the MLB.
Oh yeah. That did get checked.
I don't think anything ever came out of that. I guess.
I thought you said check for some reason.
Oh.
He said. I guess it must have cut out or something. It sounded like you said chick.
No, yeah, like that was probably a couple weeks ago at this point. So
It was, unless they're still investigating it, which I don't know why it would take them like 4 weeks to do that.
They definitely hate him for like speaking up on all this shit. So
he's saying that he's doing this for the greater of the game, I'm like, he's just doing it for himself.
Yeah.
Not for baseball. He's more about himself than the game of baseball. And when he comes
still a long season
in August, we're gonna boo the crap out of him.
Like we did to Altuve.
Oh yeah, that was up on my birthday. I was watching that game on my birthday, I think.
That shit.
Or passively watching. I wasn't actively.
Yeah.
Watching. I don't usually watch Yankee games.
Oh, I'm going to a Mets game this year in a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah, on the 26th, my friend and I. I think it's a Wednesday.
Okay.
We're going to a Mets game, so I'm hoping it lines up because I'd love to see a DeGrom game in action.
Yeah, I was thinking my family was thinking about going to a Mets game on Mother's Day, but like they don't serve they only serve 4 people pods for a section, and we're a family of 5.
Yeah, that's my family too.
Yeah, I also really wanted to go to Wednesday's game against the Orioles because Matt Harvey was pitching for the Orioles.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
To be there to applaud him.
They did give him a good applause. I liked that.
I was really happy about that. Yeah.
So,
but I guess want to circle back to hockey real quickly.
Yeah.
I want to talk about. I didn't really get my whole thing about Tom Wilson out. I need to ask the grind about Tom Wilson. Do you think Tom Wilson should have been suspended?
I think he should have been suspended for the punch. That punch was kind of ridiculous.
What about that whole incident?
I don't think the Panarin thing really should have. I know that's probably I'm in the minority here, but I honestly like Panarin. I know he got injured, but he was already playing through an injury, right? And I mean, they missed the playoffs.
I don't think so. I think
really? I thought
they said he sustained an injury from that incident.
But I swear he was playing through an injury beforehand.
They said in their statement where they called out the NHL for its BS on their BS. That he said that injury was, and David Quinn said that his injury was sustained from that incident with Wilson.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I think he should have got suspended for that punch because I think that punch was a bitch move. But
what are you doing? What are you? The NHL has allowed Tom Wilson to get away with everything everything. He's been able to.
Ah,
They've allowed him to get
he's
away with that.
he's gotten suspended pretty hefty. He
Not
has.
enough. He hasn't been suspended enough. They gotta make an example out of him. They have to, but they won't because the Caps are favored by them for sure. And he's actually good at hockey, which makes it even more aggravating that he's doing this despicable stuff and he doesn't have to be this asshole on the ice. He sees red and like does stuff like this and doesn't have to pay the price for it. Only $5,000 for injuring someone and for almost seriously hurting them. Because that Panarin thing could have been much more serious than what it ended up being. It could have been like Todd Berduzzi, Steve Moore level, possibly, if it was at a different angle by a few inches, his head hit the ice.
Yeah, I just don't think you could suspend someone off like a what if, But
And that's stupid.
I think
stupid.
I think also
it's stupid.
That
It should be suspended just based on intent or what could have happened.
But so then Booch should got suspended for almost taking Samantha's head off. Like what if he hit his eyeball and poked his eyeball out? Should he get suspended for that?
Probably. He did earn that suspension, but
he did earn that suspension.
He did earn that suspension, but Mantha was asking for it that entire
Mantha was asking for him to fight, not jump and cross-check him in the head.
You don't have to fight someone. I don't know. You don't have to fight. And people who were like, oh, Panarin should not have jumped on top of Wilson. Like, he jumped on top of Wilson to save Buchnevich. Like, what's your argument here? Don't jump in and be called soft, or jump in and be like, oh, called an idiot. It's like lose-lose situation arguing with those people. It makes me mad that Tom Wilson can get away with horrifying acts of violence. That's the way I just put it. And then they had to then they made an example out of. Then they settled on the ice with having 6 fights in the first 4 minutes of the game. And it clearly states that that's how the NHL wants to handle those situations. They don't want to take action to handling those situations. They'd rather just have the players do it and have players get hurt at the expense of it. It's ridiculous. And they'll wonder why the NHL is such an afterthought. The NHL is stupid. And they just got new contract deals done with TV deals in America.
To be fair, that game was probably the most watched regular season game of the year.
Yeah, because of the NHL's stupid bullshit. Oh my god, it's such a what a terrible league. What a terrible league. Best sport, worst league.
I don't know about that. They are a lot better than. If they had the leadership of other sports, they probably have the second best GM commissioner. Manfred and Goodell are easily worse. And then
do Manfred and Goodell actively cancel hockey games or cancel football or baseball games? Gary Bettman is responsible for not 1, not 2, but 3 different lockouts in his tenure as commissioner of the NHL.
I guess we're just gonna disagree on that then. I think he's been.
He's in the Hall of Fame as a builder, despite the fact that he actively prevents hockey games. It's ridiculous. Gary Bettman sucks. The NHL front office is a joke. Colin Campbell, Joey Sparrows, all of them. They are absolute jokes. And the sooner that they're out, that's better the NHL. The better off the NHL will be. NHL sucks. They much rather have people get hurt than actually take action. And they just got, and like we were talking about Tom Wilson and not what special things that Connor McDavid was doing, but no, we were talking about stupid Tom Wilson and his stupid bullshit that, and not about what special things McDavid was doing with scoring 100 points.
I mean, a lot of people were talking about that. I was more I wanted to move. I was fine with moving on from the incident.
Well, at the moment when the Wilson thing happened, McDavid was on his was on his chase to get 100.
Yeah.
How special that would be. But no, we had to talk about Tom Wilson. Unbelievable. I hope the Caps get swept in the first round. I'll be actively cheering for a team in Boston.
I wish both teams would lose that series. I hate Boston so much, and I hate Wilson. But there's also I don't mind Ovi.
Ovi sucks. I hate him. I hate everyone in the Caps except for Henrik Lundqvist.
I don't mind Chara. I think
Screw him. I hate them. I didn't hate them for like a while, for like the past 3 years. For a bit, I was like, oh, okay, Ovi, I get the Stanley Cup. You didn't have to beat the Rangers to go through it, but you got the Stanley Cup. And then, now I hate them with a passion. I hate them so much. I'm hitting my desk in anger, frustration. But like, it's not. If we did this episode like a week earlier, I would have been more pissed than I am right now. I just gotta say that. But what? It's done. It's over.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, what they should do is come out and say that they were wrong, but they're not gonna do that.
But they won't. The NHL front office is a boys' club with huge egos, and they got huge egos, and they got their feathers ruffled by an Original Six franchise for calling them out.
I don't agree with that public statement. I think that was kind of stupid. I know that I think the message was right, but I don't get the point of posting that on social media. I think you just go straight to the actual league. Like, I don't know what posting it on social media did.
It calls them out on a public. It brings it out to the public.
Yeah, but everyone knows that it was stupid. Everyone in the public
showed
knows.
that the NHL team publicly does not agree with it. And the Rangers ended up having to pay more. The Rangers got fined for posting a PNG than Tom Wilson did for attempting to seriously hurt someone. Unbelievable. The NHL is stupid. The people who run the NHL are stupid. They eat pizza with a knife and fork, and they pour milk before their cereal. Those are the type of people who are in the NHL front office. They suck. But all right, I guess since we're on the playoff subject, who do you think is coming out of the East, North, West, and Central?
Let's see, East Islanders, because I want the Islanders to do well, and I like Pelech. I love Pelech. I don't know if you're part of the Pelech posse. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like an internet meme.
Well, I'm not really a big follower of Islanders.
But yeah, so they have like a meme
almost as much as the Caps
on Adam Pelech. So I'm rooting for them, and of course they have Green and Palmieri. So
And
I feel
Zajac.
obligated, but I know Palmieri play. Or I'm sorry, they have Green, Palmieri, and what's his name, and
Zajac.
Zajac now. So I kind of am rooting for him, but I don't think Zajac really plays. So really up to Palmieri and Green.
Mm.
But I think they have a good chance of winning the first round because I think all the 4 teams in the East are all super. Like any team could take it.
Yeah,
So
but you're picking the
I'm picking
Islanders
the Islanders.
out of the East.
Yeah, I'm picking the Islanders for fun. Let's see. I want. I think out of the. I think Florida is gonna advance. I'd really want Florida to advance too because I think that's also a fun, underrated team, and I think it'd be good for hockey in Florida if they do win because they're also a pretty shit, no fan franchise. So that'll be entertaining, and I think that's gonna be the best playoff. That first round is gonna be the best. Um, Out of the North, I hate all teams coming out of the North. Um, it's definitely not gonna be Montreal. I'm gonna say Toronto. Although I don't want Toronto, I think they're gonna figure it out come playoff time.
I think this is the year where they go all the way. I think
You
honestly,
think?
maybe or well they have to. I think this is the if it this the years they have a favorable um playoff schedule.
Yeah, first 2 rounds they
After
should
the
win.
they have an easy path to like having a deep playoff run, and they have the team that can go deep into the playoffs.
I also think McDavid's kind of fun. If McDavid is like continues his hot streak, I don't know who's gonna stop him, but we'll see.
That will be the test for the Jets to figure out how to do that. Unless Connor Hellebuck's like, I'm just gonna stand on my head.
Yeah, which I mean, he has the potential to do that.
Oh yeah,
So we'll see. And then I'm gonna say Vegas. It's a 3-team race in that. So
maybe four,
well, who's the
maybe
4th team? I forget.
the Blues.
Oh right, yeah.
I
Um,
didn't expect the Wild to be as good as they were this year. I mean, I felt they would make the playoffs, but I didn't think they would be as good as with Kaprizov. I
yeah, I
didn't
think
think
that guy
Kaprizov was
that
like
guy was a big
first
help.
onto the scene.
I, th-
Kaprizov's
I
probably won Calder.
yeah, he's gonna win Calder easily.
Yeah,
Um, no, I think Avalanche take that. I think Avalanche and Vegas
Vegas.
is gonna be that's gonna be like that's basically a Stanley Cup playoff matchup. Those are 2 very good teams.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll go
Yeah,
then. I
I'm just gonna go
think the,
out of the East. You have Washington, right?
I think the Bruins. I think the Bruins will come out of the East.
Really? Okay.
The Caps are pretty banged up as is. Always like has a lingering injury. Wilson has some injuries also, and um, Kuznetsov is like kind of in and out of the line. They have you heard they might actually listen to offers for Kuznetsov this offseason?
I've heard about that. I've heard also teams who were thinking about trading for Backstrom, but I don't know how true that is.
But yeah, they were banged up coming into that Wednesday night game against the Rangers as is.
So
I
I
don't know.
think, but they also have a lot of guys who know how to perform in the playoffs.
That's also true, but I think the Bruins. I think the Bruins have the team to go. That might
I
come out of the East.
I don't really care who comes out of it. I just don't want it to be Washington or Boston. I'd rather Pittsburgh or the Islanders.
I don't.
Whoever wins the Pittsburgh Islanders series, I want that team to go.
I think the Penguins might come back down to earth during the playoffs. I don't know. They might not. They might just go on to win the Stanley Cup for all I know.
Yeah.
Because hockey gods hate everyone except.
Yeah.
But anyway, oh,
Nah, you good. I'm
I
good.
was about to move on to my next topic. What were you gonna say something?
No, go now.
Out of the Central, um, probably Tampa.
Yeah, that's
It's hard to bet against them.
yeah. I just want them to lose. I just think I hate them.
I kind of hope that her Hurricanes get eliminated in the first round, so that way the Rangers can they just get an opportunity to interview Rob Brind'Amour or offer him something to coach the Rangers.
He would not leave. That's like
He wouldn't leave. We just dump a truckload of money right out of his place where he's staying.
yeah.
Just
He
do
would be
that.
he would be closer to his son's college, to be fair.
He would at Quinnipiac University.
um
He would.
what about I've seen some Messier what about
I
him?
don't. I don't think so.
Okay. I was just curious on that.
He's saying stuff just to say stuff.
Okay.
If the Rangers are going to hire a head coach, they're not going to hire another first year head coach.
Where was Gordon before? Was he in college?
Gorton.
Yeah.
He was with the Rangers organization for a lot of years.
Oh, okay.
But he served as an interim GM for the Bruins. He kind of actually laid down the foundation for the Bruins team of today, actually. That won the Stanley Cup.
That's not
Like
too bad.
I think he drafted Bergeron, Lucic, and Marchand.
Oh, there you go.
I think. But I don't know, and I frankly don't care about the Bruins.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think for the West, Colorado comes out of the West,
Yeah.
and then for the North,
No, this is Colorado's year to win.
yep,
I think they're favorites by far.
yep. They don't have Joel Kiviranta to end them.
They also, I didn't know, Landeskog is a free agent this year, but it
He
sounds like
is.
he's going to resign.
Probably.
But
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
that'd be interesting, honestly.
That would be. And for the North, I think the Leafs.
Yeah.
Easily. I might watch some of the Leafs in Habs first round.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yep.
That's going to be entertaining. I think the Leafs are going to come out. I do want the Oilers to go all the way though. I want McDavid. I want McDavid to win something. I want McDavid to win a Stanley Cup. Because then I think we could say he's definitely the most skilled guy in the NHL. So
Fastest guy.
yeah, that's what.
Hopefully, hopefully, ESPN and TNT broadcast a lot of games from Canada to the American market.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
The showcase guys like McDavid and Matthews and Marner.
Matthews is a perfect guy for them too because he's American, and and he's running it up in a Canadian market in a Canadian town. So
it does help to be in Toronto.
Yeah.
But there actually won't be a conference championship. Like there won't be the Prince of Wales or the Campbell Trophy they give out to the conference winners when they win the conference. Actually, did you know
Wait, they're not? What are they doing then?
I don't know. I just saw a bit from a Greg Wyshynski tweet. I didn't read much else, but oh, that's pretty interesting. There won't be a conference trophy jinx.
Ah. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that was pretty.
I didn't know that.
I mean, the divisions in conference are in their traditional way, so that
traditional setup
makes sense. It isn't a traditional setup.
Yeah.
But I think that might be where we call it.
Yeah, I mean, got it all out. Talked about all sports.
All sports
except soccer.
Except for soccer and basketball.
Nah.
Well, we talked about them briefly about the Knicks making the playoffs, which was going to happen, but
yeah, that's
I might watch Knicks playoff games.
I'm a loose Nets fan. I liked them when they were in New Jersey, so they're
Well, you're
my
from New
team.
Jersey.
So yes, but I mean I couldn't honest. I've probably watched like 5 or 6 games this year, and not even like watch. Probably just like put on the background while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Knicks fans, but like I'll cheer for them to do well.
Yeah, that's like
because-
I'll root for the Nets on like social media and stuff like that, and like, but I'm not really. I wouldn't call myself like a diehard fan at all.
yeah, I wouldn't call myself a diehard Knicks fan, but like I do like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they do well. I hope they do well. New York versus the world. That's how that's my mentality for everything.
Yeah.
That's the mentality of a New York sports fans. New York versus the world.
Well, there hasn't really been much success from New York teams recently, so.
Shut up. That's going to change. That's going to change.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, Islanders have been. Yeah, wow. Yeah, you know what? New York teams are due.
They are due.
Mets, Yankees
Mets,
are both going to be
Yankees.
good. Rangers, Islanders are both going to be good.
Chris Drury will steer the ship in the right. Will keep the Rangers ship on course.
Yeah, all he really has to. Yeah, he doesn't really have to do anything major, really.
I don't think much is changing. He's just gotta keep the ship on course. I think he will be. They kind of developed him to be this basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not worried about Drury. I'm just more a shock of just firing Gordon and Davidson like out of like nowhere.
Yeah.
I kind of just caught everything up. It's not that I think Drury will be bad. I think he'll be very good actually. It was more shock than anything.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
the Giants are set to.
Giants and Jets.
Giants and Jets.
I think Jets due for a good year. Going to be a good
Giants
defense. I believe in
Giants
Wilson.
for a good year.
I really believe in Wilson.
They didn't draft a quarterback from USC, so I think you'll have a good chance.
Yeah, good old Mark Sanchez and Sam Darnold.
Do you think he breaks out in Carolina?
I don't think so. I really, as much as we didn't do much with him, I really don't think he has much in him.
Well,
like,
we'll see what he does in Carolina, I guess.
We'll see week 1 how he does. I'm excited for that matchup.
Oh, you play him week 1?
Yeah, we play Carolina week 1. So.
Wow. In
New
York, or
I forget. I don't know where it is, but I just know we play them week 1, which will be entertaining.
wow.
So we'll see how.
There's been a hilarious trend recently, though, of players who are free from Gase to go on to have career years.
Yeah, I think he'll have a decent year where he earns the starting spot somewhere the year after, but I don't think he has a year where it's like, oh my god, like this is what Sam Darnold was always like had the potential to be.
Yeah,
but I still root for him.
Unfortunately, drafted by the Jets.
Yeah, I really do think. I mean, obviously at 2, I don't know what maybe we would have went that O-line guy, but I think it was just time to start on a new direction with a new head coach. I still think I for the longest time this like off season, I was fine with staying with Sam.
Even if you lost out on Trevor.
Oh no, I'm saying like after we got the second pick when Trevor was like out of play, I was thinking we might as well just stick with Sam. But I guess they saw a strong pro day and they were just like the guy. So I trust him. I really do like this head coaching group now. So
yeah, you got Mike LaFleur, I think, as your OC.
Yeah. So I trust him. I think it'll be a good year, and I'm actually really. This is actually no. I always am kind of excited a little bit for Jets football, but I think
they start playing the actual football.
Yeah, and then they actually like start playing, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I hate the Jets. But
like, you'll have 17 more games. You'll have one more game to regret being a Jets fan.
Yeah, but I really do think this will be a good year. I think I'm hoping for 500. I don't care about playoffs. Or one game below 500, I guess technically now. That'd be fine with me.
I think the Giants have a legitimate shot to be playoff contenders this year. Again, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen, but I think the NFC East is pretty wide open as we saw last year, and I think the Giants might be in a good spot to like claim the NFC East title.
Yeah. So like, here's the thing. I think the AFC East is obviously the most wide open it's ever been.
Since Brady's gone now.
What my hope is that it turns out Tua is not an NFL QB. Mac Jones has a shitty year and they start playing Cam. That'd be my hope. And then I think Buffalo really can't go wrong unless injured they start getting injured. But I'm not gonna like hope for an injury. I think Buffalo.
I mean, they are owned by the Pagulas.
Yeah, I think Buffalo will easily win the division, but I'm hoping the Jets get like second or something. I'm hoping the Jets like be better than the Patriots.
Into a wild card.
I don't think a wild card, but I think
they do. They have the expanded playoffs though too.
That's true. You know, this is a good year to be hopeful, I think.
Yes, the expanded playoffs extra game.
Yeah. So I believe in the Jets. I'm all in. I told my other friend who's a Giants fan, I told him Jets are a top 5 or top 10 defensive team this year. I think they really take. They usually
build on their defense anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure about the right side of the O-line, but I really do think this left side is going to be like all we have to do is literally hand the ball off to Carter and just watch him run up the right side or left side.
Yeah.
So, but we also I don't know. We don't. Frank Gore was. I was never high on Frank Gore.
There was little change to the offense when Frank Gore came in for Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell was. I don't know. He was done.
Adam Gase did not use him to his full potential.
I also think taking a year off for an NFL player sets them back a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I think Adam Gase hurt Le'Veon Bell's like production, but because he didn't use him to his strengths, which is bad if you're an NFL coach.
But I'm also curious because he did not really play for the Chiefs, so I'm curious what he's doing. Like, is he he's a free agent? I'm assuming. Right? They only signed him to 1 year, or like for the rest of the season. So I don't think I've seen him go anywhere.
Maybe he is staying with the Chiefs.
Oh, he is.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'll look after.
All right,
but I'm not sure.
I think that's where we will stop the podcast today. And also shout out to Ryan all again. It's his birthday today.
Thank you.
To you.
Thank you.
And with that, with
that, yeah, we're all good.
Yep. All right, we'll see you guys next time.